Here's the #1 record for Australia for the first week of the time. Girls, just want to have fun.
It was this song, released in 1983, that became Cyndi Lauper's breakthrough hit and launched her onto the world stage. Over the next 30-odd years, the colourful New Yorker with a 4-octave vocal range would sell over 50 million records and take home Grammys, an Emmy, and now a Tony Award for penning songs for hit Broadway musical Kinky Boots.
Just me, who you wanna be. Never let them tell you who you wanna be.
Kinky Boots is inspired by a true story, and it's based on the movie starring Australia's Joel Edgerton about a young man's struggle to save the family shoe business and all the colourful people he meets along the way. Why did this story appeal to you?
When I saw the story, of course, because it was glamorous to me. I loved the fashion and the shoes alone. Come on. I thought that the story about accepting yourself, that these men so different from each other would have a similar background, that they could never live up to their father's expectations, and that it would affect their own self-worth. That was very interesting to me and very universal. I thought this was such a wonderful project to be part of, because it's uplifting. And in the end, it's a happy pill. People walk out of the theater like on cloud 9.
If you fall, I will catch you, I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time.
You grew up in Queens and New York City. What was it about that environment and your upbringing that gave you such a creative edge?
I don't know. I lived in Williamsburg first, and I grew up in a Sicilian Italian, home. The lady upstairs was Sicilian. She was the first one that taught me how to sing some silly song, Bella, Bella, I don't know. And then she'd make me perform it in front of everybody, and I guess I got into it. I was like, hey. And it was a time period when fashion was kind of extreme. And so it was interesting to me, really interesting. And I guess kind of sparked my imagination. And I started playing at a young age with my mom's records. And she had Broadway cast albums. Sometimes come out of the shower, step in front of the shower curtain and bow, Had a lot of shows. Big daydreamer, sang a lot, but I sang all the time. I sang, wrote poetry, drew pictures, and, and went to Catholic school. At first, I guess I felt bad that I didn't really fit in, but I just thought differently. And I walked a different path, and I thought about all kinds of things, and I didn't think like everyone else, and I couldn't sit in school and do what, it's kind of like square pegs and round hole, or round peg and square hole. It just didn't work out.
Did you get kicked out of high school? Did I read that?
About 4 times.
Right.
Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Of all your unforgettable songs, True Colours has really become an anthem of hope for so many people. It's timeless and universal. Can you tell us what that song means to you?
Well, when I first heard it, again, Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly wrote that song, and it was kind of a gospel country song. I kind of didn't relate to the chords or the thing, but the melody and the words. I had just lost a dear friend to AIDS. I said, this is really a beautiful melody and lyric. What if we wrote our chords instead, the same chords, but our kind of chords, not so full, but our voicing. And he just stripped it down and started playing, da 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 And then I just sang with him and recorded it on my 12-track Akai, and that became the outline for what we would record. And I started to think of spiritual things because I knew it was a healing song. It was better, simpler. The more music we put on that record, the less powerful it became. Because simply put, with a lyric that way and that melody, you don't need much more.
Like a rainbow.
You've been an LGBT rights supporter throughout your whole career, and you co-founded the True Colours Fund to end homelessness amongst queer youth. How important is the work you do in this current political climate?
First of all, I'm friend and family member. And I got tired of standing by watching my friends and family stand on the sidelines of life, working side by side, very much a part of our culture, and yet not having equal rights. That was the first thing, flat out. You know, a lot of people didn't even know that you could be fired from a job if you're gay or transgender. Then there was the whole marriage equality thing. You know, as I was growing up, it was always like, well, you know, they're so promiscuous. And I'm like, yeah, well, now they want to be monogamous. What's your issue now? You know, you always got an issue. You know, make up your mind. You can't have it both ways. Up to 40% of the homeless youth in our country are from LGBTQ, and that's a lot when only up to 7% of the general youth population in our country identify as LGBTQ. You know, it's a lot of work, but we're making headway and we're making change. And if the kids or the youth are our future, well, you better start investing in them, because we're going to be cut off at the knees. Bunch of old folks not knowing how to fix anything, and you never know where the cure cancer's coming from or how they're going to fix the climate, right? It could be from any place. So a more inclusive society is a stronger society. A segregated society is a weaker society. And if everyone isn't equal, then none of us are.
My poor old head is a reeling as I go deep into the funnel of love.
You released a covers album earlier this year, Detour, which includes some amazing country classics from Wanda Jackson, Willie Nelson, a bunch of awesome artists. What do you love about country music?
I love the stories, and this time period, of course, as I had said before, it's around the time of the birth of rock, but country music is also really soulful for the stories that they tell. And that's what I love about it. It was fun, and we'll go on tour in the spring here with Detour. And it's a combination of these country songs and songs like She Bop and I Drove All Night, that kind of blend. I really, truly believe that because we're rhythmic beings, we have a pulse, we have a heartbeat, we have brain waves, we relate to rhythm, and different rhythms make us feel because we're rhythmic beings. So if you keep the rhythm authentic in each style of music that you do, and it's as catchy as the melody, you're gonna affect people. They're gonna feel happier. You're gonna connect with them on all kinds of levels.
Thank you so much for talking to 730.
Thank you.
That